So we had to do a little fixing. Air compressor was pumping oil. Not bad, but starting to see it leaking onto the dashboard, like from the air wiper motors and stuff like that. And you could see around the inlet for the compressor, we were getting a little bit of oil. Yeah, it was just getting tired. So we got a new cat reman. I just put on this Friday, I guess. That was the original compressor. I almost felt bad that it had to go, but well, you need an air compressor. This truck is so original. That's the dealer that sold it brand new. They're no longer a dealership, but that's who sold it new. This is the matching numbers, engine and transmission of this. You can still see it's white. It's really filthy. I really need to give this truck a bath, but it's a 7FB prefix 3406B. I believe the first year of the air-to-air engine. And like I said, all correct for the truck. It is on the build records, this is the numbers matching engine to it. Pretty neat. I got a bunch of parts from Dan's shop in Montevideo, Minnesota. They are, great stuff for Peterbilt restoration things, but I got all new AC stuff from them. I just did the day cab kit. I didn't do the bunk. I kind of wish I would have done the bunk too, just because sometimes it has a hard time keeping up in this weather. But yeah, you can kind of, I'll see if we can, yeah, 4.25 horse rating on this. Got Jake's, no brake saver, but this was a big ride back in '86. I mean, the 3408 trucks were all over. And that's a paint under the cowl is still really nice. The 3408 trucks, I believe, were done by '83. So technically in '86, I suppose 444 Cummins was coming out, which would be maybe a bigger horsepower, but I don't think anybody would say that a 444 Cummins was, going to pull harder than the 4.25 B model. But I had to do a slack adjuster. I had one slack adjuster that was backing off. Still got manual slacks on it. Put that on. I got to blow the radiator and the air-to-air out. She's just running a little bit warmer than I would like. It's kicking the fan off and hard pulls. So did the air compressor, slack adjuster. Got a little exhaust leak I want to fix, and then fix that mud flap. I got new chrome brackets. So I'm doing that right now. Then I got to haul the excavator to a job site. And I don't know if I'll get started over there today or not. But, it was nice. We got a comment, somebody saying this is a beautiful 359. And I think it is, too. I have a real soft spot for these trucks. So maybe I'll do a better tour of it when I got her all cleaned up. But we're going to do a little heavy hauling today. And a little fixing on her. And, yeah. That's a 501 compressor, by the way, which is not super common nowadays. The core on that compressor was really expensive. But, you see the 552 flows and stuff like that, but it's a 501. But the nice thing about Cat, they still support this stuff, so the Peterbilt dealer had it. That's kind of cool, too, if you can kind of see up in the windshield. That's an inspection sticker from 1995. And going off the odometer reading in 1995 to when I bought the truck in January of 19 or 18, the truck we figured it sat probably 20 years. The last registration on it, I believe, was 98, I think. So going off of the miles, it had sat for a long time, and it came from Maine, was sold to a guy in Pennsylvania. The guy in Pennsylvania sold it to a guy in Indiana, and that's who I bought it from. So as far as we could tell, that was the first time it had been on the road under its own power, was me driving it home from Indiana in 20 years. The truck was in great shape, but it needed a lot of stuff from sitting. So I put a lot of work into this truck. But excuse me, old Pete's are kind of a labor of love to me. The air assist hood cylinders are missing, of course. But I had a 352 cab over double bunk that I had fixed up and sold to a guy, and he in turn told me about this truck that a friend of his had, and that's how I ended up with this. I guess this wasn't really advertised for sale necessarily, but that's how I got it. And like I said, it needed a lot, but the truck itself was awesome. So we did a lot of work to it and worked it. It's worked a lot. But I really like this truck a lot. So anyway. So just got done loading the excavator here. Gonna go haul it to a job site. I've got some drain tiling I gotta go do. So here's the Pete. Still needs a bath. Did a bunch of work to it. Got it ready to go. Did get the mud flap finally back on here. Traditional cat diesel power mud flap. Always looks good on a Pete. But I guess if you have a Cummins, it probably wouldn't look as good. Still look good, I guess, but just probably be false advertising. My Lobo is an old 77 Load King. These are a front folder. They were popular in the oil fields. They were built in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You can actually see the spot, put the winch on there for folding. This one has, I think, always been self-contained. It had a Kohler engine mounted under the well, and that's been replaced with a Honda with a power unit. It's really nice to be self-contained. The trailer's built really, really heavy. I mean, if you look at the steel on there, there's a lot of metal there. And I keep the trailer up. Everything gets DOT'd. Tires are good. Bunch of new tires on here. Brakes are good. Just redid brakes and a wheel seal on one axle here just a little bit ago. Hose Tachi's ZX160 LC. It's an 05. So it'd be like a tier 2 emissions. Got some hours on her. Rail's got some wear, but still works good. Nice not to have a pretty simple engine. There's Hazel the dog. She'd probably want to come with, but yeah, gonna head on out here. Like I said, truck still needs a bath, but it was nice to hear some comments about, people wanting to. I gotta turn the radio down.
And called me out on
to think that the truck is really nice. I appreciate that. I like the truck. I blew it out a little bit in here. I still haven't done a full-on cleaning, but at least you can see the floor again. And pretty loaded up truck, really, in its day, I guess. Now maybe it's not so fancy, but anyway, one thing I did I'm pretty pumped about was I cleaned the condenser and the heater core out. I wasn't getting hardly any airflow for the AC. Clean that out. It still won't take your hat off. Like, it's a 359. They're not known for their superior HVAC, but it's comfy in here again. So we are gonna head on down the road. I don't know. Maybe I'll set my phone on the dash and just see if we get a little bit of footage heading out here. I don't know if it'll work. What the heck? I guess we'll do this. Yeah. There. Great. That's a wonderful view of the hood. Can't really see anything, but yeah, I guess that isn't working so well. There. Alright. Dope. I don't know. So maybe that isn't going to work. I was kind of hoping it would. Maybe I should have grabbed one of the kids. They didn't be a camera person, but anyway, that is what we're doing. Rear view mirror shot. You can see the whole fits on the trailer with the pad, so I don't flag it and sign it. Tile plow, we got to do that. Tractors, we got to do that. But for the whole, we're all right just the way it is. So yes, I am gonna take off with it. And maybe I'll start the video again when I'm unloaded. Gonna see how a front folder works, I guess. Okay, so here's how a front folder works. Basically, as the name would sort of describe it, how it works. The front fold. So the hydraulic cylinders are lifting right now, bringing the front end up. And we will lock the pins when it gets to that position, but we are raising it up. A little further yet, I don't think that'll make the fifth wheel. Ooh. There's that new mud flap bracket. Mud flap got kind of dirty, sitting in the back of the farm pickup when it got ripped off. There was a matching Cat diesel power mud flap over there, and I lost a mud flap bracket and the mud flap and did not realize it until I was a long ways away. The bad thing about these front folders is the plate lays on the ground, so I always put a board down to sit on, and the board gets pounded pretty hard, as you can see. You can imagine stuff, you know, the tile plow and excavator, etc., hitting it. So now we will back under. Look at that, it's already dirty again. Yeah, we got a little mud here, so hopefully I'll try and keep it on the floor mats. And there we go, we are locked in.